Hey everyone, so let's talk about subtracting signed numbers. I'm going to start with the problem. So what do you see here? So if you notice, we are subtracting 5 from 8, right? So 8 is your starting amount, and you're going to call it $8, and you're subtracting $5, so you're going to end up with $3, right? Now let's look at a few more examples. You're gonna just tell me what we are subtracting. You're not gonna do the actual subtraction, okay? So let's erase the board. Okay, number 1. 2. This is number 3, and this is number 4. So my question is, you just have to tell me what are we subtracting. You don't have to do the subtraction. So first one, we are subtracting 1 from 4, right? Number 2, what we are subtracting? So subtracting 8 from, be careful here that we are subtracting from a negative number, so -3. So one is negative, another is minus or subtraction, right? Okay, so we are subtracting 8 from -3. Now let's look at the third one. What are we subtracting? So here we are subtracting -2 from 5. Okay, let's look at the last one. We are subtracting -9 from -7, right? Remember, this -7, this is not -7. We are not subtracting 7, or we are not subtracting 3. Okay, these are your starting amount. Okay, 4, -3, 5, -7, these are your starting amount, and you're subtracting 1, subtracting 8, subtracting -2, and subtracting -9. Okay. All right, so now let's look at some more examples to understand the subtraction clearly. So I'm going to erase the board. Please copy them. Okay, so let's write some problems. 8 minus 5. Then we have 10 minus 1. And then 9 minus 2.5. So I have 3 problems on the board. And I'm going to write 3 more problems. 8 plus -5, 10 plus -1, and 9 plus -2.5. Alright, so I want you to answer this question. So 8 minus 5, It's 3. 10 minus 1 is 9. And 9 minus 2.5. Think about money. You have $9. You're taking away $2.50. So how much you're going to have? 6.5. Right? Okay, now let's look at the problems here. So 8 plus -5, you have $8 and you have a debt which is $5. So again, the answer is 3. You have $10 but you owe $1. So again, 9. You have $9 and you owe $2.50. So you have $6.50. Now if you look at these problems, let me change the color. 8 minus 5 and 8 plus -5. Do you notice anything here? Is there any pattern here? If you look at the second one, 10 minus 1, and we have 10 plus -1. The last one we have 9 minus 2.5 and 9 plus 2.5. If you look at the result, 6.5, 6.5, 9, 9, 3, 3. Okay, so we're getting the same answer. Why is that? Okay, so if we look at the first problem, we are subtracting 5, but if we compare it with the other one, which we have is 8 plus -5. We have 8 minus 5. Here we have 8 plus -5, and both are giving us the same result. So what is the pattern here that is making the answer the same? That's we're gonna look at. So if we look at the second one, 10 minus 1 is 9, and 10 plus -1 is also 9. We are subtracting 1, and at the bottom one we are adding -1. Okay, so what's happening? So let's look at a concept. I told you this before, but I'm going to share this again. So let's write the problem first. 8 minus 5. In the bottom one we have 8 plus -5. And both will give us the same result, 3. Okay, and I told you this before, but I'm going to share this again. So subtracting a number is the same as adding its opposite. So please write this down. This is very important for our next few classes. I'm going to continue working on this concept. First problem, what we are subtracting. We are subtracting 5. And we said subtracting a number. So instead of a number, I'm going to replace it with 5. So subtracting 5 is the same as adding its opposite. What's the opposite of 5? -5, right? I'm gonna write it here. Subtracting 5 is the same as adding, which is plus, right? Its opposite, which is -5. So one more time, subtracting a number, in this case is 5. We are subtracting 5. This is the same, exactly the same thing if you do plus and the opposite of 5, which is -5. So 8 plus -5 is same as 8 minus 5. Okay, so if you look at our second example, we were subtracting 1, which is 9. Now again, we're going to use the same concept, subtracting a number. In this case, what's the number? The number is 1, right? So we don't have 5 anymore, we have 1. So subtracting 1 is the same as adding its opposite. So what's the opposite of 1? Which is -1. So in this case, it'll be 10 plus -1, and we will end up with 9. So they are the same. Okay, so you may ask like why we are doing this. You'll see in a second. So subtraction is a little confusing for students, and they often make mistakes with subtraction problems. So in this class, you're going to treat subtraction as addition so that it makes it simpler to do the calculation. Okay. All right, let's go to the next page. So I'm going to delete everything that I have written. Okay, so I think we got the ideas here. So now let's do some practice. So I'm going to give you some subtraction problem, and you're going to use the concept that I just wrote on the board and convert all these subtraction problem as addition problem. So 2 minus 7, so number 1. Number 2, -2 minus 7. Number 3, 7 minus 2. Number 4, -2 minus -7. And number 5, 2 minus so 2 minus -7. So be careful. The number itself, we're going to call it negative, and this subtraction sign, you're going to call it minus. So don't get confused. So for example, if we talk about number 2, it's -2 minus 7. That's how we're going to read this. Number 4, we're going to say -2 minus -7. Number 5, you're going to read it 2 minus -7. So as I said, you have to change the subtraction to addition problem. So how do I do this? Again, we're going to use the same concept. Subtraction is the same as adding its opposite. Okay, so remember that sentence, because that is going to be useful here. So first of all, what we are subtracting? We are subtracting 7. So that means, remember, the starting number doesn't change, or we don't touch the starting number. Here the 2 is your starting number. We have a subtraction sign that will become plus. And what's the number that you are subtracting? We are subtracting 7. That's why it will become -7. Again, I'm going to write the sentence so that we can use this as a reference. Subtracting a number is the same as adding its opposite. So again, what we are subtracting here. So whenever you see a subtraction problem, the first question you're going to ask is what we are subtracting. Here it's 7. So replace a number with 7, and then we're going to follow this, adding its opposite. So there are 3 things. So a number, adding, and its opposite. So that's what we are doing here. Okay, so now it's simple. So 2 plus -7 means you have $2, but you owe $7. So that means you're going to end up owing $5, right? Number 2, what we are subtracting? We are subtracting 7 from -2. So remember, we don't change the starting number, which is in this case is -2. Subtraction become addition. And what is the number that we are subtracting? 7. So that will become -7. So you owe $2 and you owe another $7. So how much are you going to owe? You're going to owe $9, right? Number 3, this is simple. We can just do the subtraction. 7 minus 2 is 5, but again, we're going to change it to addition. So 7 subtraction becomes plus. And what are we subtracting? 2, which will become -2. And again, let's use the money concept. You have $7, but you owe $2, so the answer is 5. Let's look at the fourth one. What are we subtracting? We're subtracting -7 from -2. Are we changing -2? No, we are not, because that's your starting amount, so that is untouched. Subtraction become plus. Now what is the number that we're subtracting? It's -7. Be careful, this is -7, so what's the opposite of -7? That'll be a +7. So again, let's use the money concept. You owe $2, but you have $7, so you're gonna have $5 left. Okay, let's look at the last one. We are subtracting -7 from +2, so 2 is untouched because that's your starting amount. Subtraction become addition, and what we're subtracting, -7, so that means it'll become +7. So we have $2, another $7, that will make it $9. Okay, so I hope you now understand this clearly, how we can change a subtraction problem to addition problem. So now we can work on the handout. So please practice this one more time, these 5 problems, and make sure you understand this. All right, thank you for watching, guys. Bye.